The next speaker is Janet, Arnold.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming. Brief introduction about myself. I was an Islington councillor for 8 years, and then after that, I then stood and was elected by the members of a GLA constituency covering 3 boroughs, Hackney, Islington and Waltham Forest. And don't be astounded by the population I represent. It's 800,000 constituency in members. But you know, one of my joys is that within that constituency member are one of the largest Kurdish communities in the UK, and I have had the privilege of representing them now for nearly 30 years. My first ever surgery in Islington on the borders of Hackney, and my first ever family that I met, guess who they were? Kurdish family, and they were fleeing persecution. They had escaped from Iraqi Kurdistan, and they came to North London and they came to Hackney and Islington because they had heard that it was a place of welcome. That place of welcome still exists in that part, and as we've heard, then that message, that need for solidarity for people of Kurdish heritage has spread out across this country. And I think there's very few places that you would go where you would not find that solidarity. But we need to do more. We all need to do more. So I was talking to somebody last night and they said to me, "Oh, Jeanette, it's clear you're not Kurdish or Turkish. Why do you get so excited about it?" And I go, "Do you know what? It's personal for me because I am speaking up on behalf of a community who have taken me into their hearts, who I love, who I call brothers and sisters. It's also an issue of human rights. So for me, it's not a Kurdish issue per se, it's not a Turkish issue, it's not for Kurdish and Turkish councillors to lead this by themselves, it's an issue for us all. And that's why I was so happy that we were able to pull together this meeting with the support of you all, with the support of Ibrahim, and also that was in a way fulfilling a promise that many of us made when we were with our local elected members in Ankara in December, when we said, "We are here, we have witnessed, we have heard your stories, we have seen those scars. We will never be quiet, and when we go back to the UK, we will be looking to pull together across local and city government a network that will be specifically looking at justice for Kurdistan's local and city elected members. There are so many other areas that need work, and that work is going on. But I and others, we will be focusing on this. And I'm so happy that you are now going to be part of this, Tosh. It was like it was meant for you. It was absolutely meant for you. And we've been on the same journey. Anti-apartheid, what was that about? Human rights, a call for justice. We have been on so many of the campaigns. What was central to that? Do you know what? We said that in our action, we would never keep quiet. We would never pass on by on the other side of the road when one brother, one sister has been denied their human rights, is being oppressed, has been violated. The list is horrific and awful, and you've heard some of the things going on. So and you've heard some of the actions that we can embark upon. In fact, we're building on that we will be taking the campaign to our constituencies. We will be asking them to support us. We will be taking the campaign to the trade unions, asking them to support us. and then we will be asking people to call out and speak up and show solidarity for our brothers and sisters who their only crime is, and I'm saying that crime, but I don't mean it's a crime, but their only act is to say, I want to stand and represent the people. They have been through the same electoral process as us. Now stop for a minute and imagine if, after this meeting, somebody could come in here and arrest us. Not only that, even more perverse, they wouldn't arrest us, but they would go to our homes of our families. They would take our grandparents out, they would take our children out, they would arrest our friends. We had the greatest privilege of going to meet someone who Erdogan and his stormtroopers had released because he had been in prison and he had been on a hunger strike. And the only reason that they'd sent him home to die. And we had the privilege of meeting him and saying to him, we saluted his courage and we said, we have a duty and we will go back and we will do some work on your behalf. So Justice for Kurdistan, we are all committed. We want you to join us and we want to pick up those, Tom, thank you, for those issues that are now surfacing. We need to take that to councillors and we need to get, if you like, the usual ways of working. We don't have to reinvent the wheel here. We need to get into letter writing campaigns, postcard campaigns, because we must raise this issue. We cannot keep quiet if they try to criminalise Kurdish people and say that they are terrorists. We know who the terrorist is. The only terrorist that we want to get rid of is Erdogan and his storm.